right, well, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So welcome and cheers. We have made it to another Friday. Um, and I know some folks might be fasting right now. So hello and welcome to Mappy Hour. So I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, one of your hosts tonight. This is our other host.
JD, Kid Vegas 19.
And this is our um,
Yeah.
third host, Elo, also known as the intern. He's been an intern for 15 years now. So again, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. Our topic tonight is geocaching tech and gadgets and apps. I thought it would be fun to do a roundup on what people's favorite apps are and special tips and tricks that folks might have for how they're using them. And we can even talk about gadgets as well too. And I just realized I need to open up chat. I see you all are chatting and we're not seeing it. So welcome. There you go. All right. We've got folks from all over Kentucky. Ooh, lots of typos there, Mike. We get more folks in from the waiting room. There we go. Colorado, Nebraska, Michigan, California, Nevada. Yay, you guys made it all right. Good, good. And even Maryland. Fantastic. Well, we are in Spokane Valley, Washington State, very close to the Idaho border, and it's about 4 to 5 hours drive to get to Seattle. So we're not close to Seattle. It's a big state, folks. Not as big as Texas, but it's still a big state. And yeah, we got more folks in from Ohio and Arizona as well. Well, welcome everybody. Cool beans. Well, again, our topic tonight is geocaching tech and apps and gadgets. And but before we get there, we do have notes from the field. We'd love to know what sort of geocaching adventures folks have been up to here lately or since we last all got together or since you've been with us here on Mappy Hour. And I'd love to know what sort of geocaching finds you've been making, hides you've been making, or even just plans that you've been making and adventures for sure. But before we get there, I do have some ground rules just to keep this Mappy Hour moving along smoothly. So please keep yourself on mute until you are called on to join in the conversation. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, just raise your hand, such as Mike and Robert have already done, and then we will call on you. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hi, all of our YouTube friends and family and fans, just go ahead and type in the comments there. And Kid Vegas 19 is monitoring that, and we'll bring your comments into our conversation here on Mappy Hour. However, we know sometimes something sparks a thought or an answer or an interest. If it's out of order, just wave at your camera, and hopefully we can see you and bring you in if you've got something relevant to the exact topic that we're talking about. Please keep everything family friendly. Treat this like you would any other geocaching event. Might be kids in the rooms with us here on Zoom. This is being live streamed to our YouTube channel and then also being recorded to go into our Mappy Hour hub. Those are the basics there. Yeah, I think so. Well, welcome everybody. We've got a good house today. So stay tuned to the end. I've got an exciting announcement that we'll share with you all, and then we can go from there. But I think we're going ahead and ready to move on to notes from the field. So let's see, we've got 3 hands up now. I think it was Robert who was first. So we'll start with Robert. We'll go Mike, Vince, and then Scott. So Robert, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so I did a World Postcard Day. I hosted an event for that. Had a good amount of attendees and then gave everyone a postcard so they could mail it out to anybody of their choosing. And then I've just been doing a lot of cache maintenance and maintaining my caches and working on caches, and a few of the caches have gone down because of muggles. So it's basically repairing those that got damaged and replacing the caches and bringing them back online. It's always a frustrating experience when those happen, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Well, sounds like you've been busy, so that's good. Yeah.
Yes. I haven't been on Mappy Hour the last few times because I've been at my nephew's flag football games. So been there to
Cool.
cheer him on and have him have a good game.
Awesome. Well, we're all about cheering on sports and kids get involved with sports too. So good deal. All right. Thanks, Robert. I think we had Mike next.
Hello. Okay. Interesting doings this last Saturday. Some friends and I were getting ready to go to an event in Ohio, and my phone pings me with a fresh cache. Since one of the other guys was also into geocaching, I just got him in last year at the eclipse. We decided to go down there, and the one local guy, always hooked, who is always finds things before I do, was there and had found it first. But apparently he follows a sub policy similar to my own. So since he hadn't logged it yet, he said he would share the FTF. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Right.
So we did that, tried to hunt up one or two caches. We kind of gave up on the one that was supposed to be in the middle of the river because we had somewhere to be. And then when we got to the event we were going to, there was a cache across the street in the forest, so we went and got that during a break. So, not a lot, but it's something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Co-FTF and then a little caching on the side. So great.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sharing, Mike.
Okay. Me.
All right.
I think it's Vince next.
Yeah, Vince.
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, after I had got my daughter's wedding planning all done, so that left me with an open Sunday. So I figure, well, what better way to spend it than to go geocaching? So I wandered over to the east side of the state. I almost ended up in northern Ohio, but then some plans changed at the last minute, and then I redirected and kept going to the east side of the state and picked up a couple more counties for the MIGO County Challenge, and then did attend an event, our weekly pizza event we always have here. So I picked up the postcard souvenir. So other than that, yeah, that's about the extent of it. So yeah, now that the wedding's behind, now I can start with my geocaching road trips. All they can start resuming now, unimpeded now. And actually, I actually still got some money left to go geocaching after the wedding was.
Oh, hey, good for you. Weddings aren't always all that cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's your daughter that's getting married.
Yep, the bride's family. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, good work and congratulations.
Mhm.
Awesome. I think it was is it Scott next?
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Well, Vince, that's amazing that you actually have some geo money left over. So congratulations on that. What have I been up to? Oh, lots of stuff. Went to two postcard events. Earth Cache Day is coming up, so I set an Earth Cache. I'm going to put a little link to a little 3.5 minute video I created after doing that. And then also Adventure Labs are coming up. So Adventure Day is coming up. So I did set an Adventure Lab here in a little town that didn't have any Adventure Labs and definitely had some locations that were fun and interesting to go to. And found some caches. So that's about and did my planning. Next Wednesday is the day that my wife and I are flying to Kansas City to go pick up the last 85 Adventure Labs for Route 66. And Lisa, I saw your shirt. I definitely got to pick one of those up because that looks really cool.
Awesome.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Cool. That's great. It takes folks to be out there hiding the caches and setting up the adventure labs for the rest of us to go find. So thank you so much, Scott. All right. Yeah. Did we get any caching in the last couple of weeks?
Not a one.
Yeah, liar. Yeah, so we had a really great time attending going caching. Kid Vegas has got the event shirt on.
Mhm.
I already wore mine this week, so it's in the laundry. I almost dug it out, but I didn't. It's a little chilly this evening here at home. Let me get folks in the waiting room. There we go. So yeah, we had a fantastic time
Mhm.
as usual. We got in Wednesday evening after a long day of traveling to Rome, Georgia, and volunteered on Thursday morning
Thursday morning.
at the registration pickup. But apparently everybody showed up on Wednesday evening to do the pickup, and it was really crowded and bottlenecked then, and we were just sharing stories with each other on Thursday. But we got to help some folks, so that was fun. So it was great that we got to see so many of
Oh,
our
yeah.
friends that we only get to see on that side of the country or at big events. But it was so sad that was the last one of going caching. So yeah,
Mhm.
but we had a good time. We
Yeah.
solved all the puzzles that we needed to solve, and found the caches that we needed to find, and stamped the ones that we needed to stamp to get through the escape rooms.
Mhm.
And the organizers were super helpful for us because the way it worked out, I had a booth there, and so I can't just leave my booth to go stand in line to go through the escape rooms. So they always let us just let them know when we're coming, and they'll just put us in with the next group that's going up. So yeah, it was kind of fun. We got in with some really fun other cachers that we got to meet, and enjoyed that. So
Mhm.
yeah, Scott, go ahead.
Wasn't able to attend, but I was so pleased to see what the city and what the Going Caching Committee did for the organizers. That was just so touching and such a tribute to their impact on the city of Rome and the geocaching community.
Absolutely. Yeah. The mayor came out when we were kicking things off on Friday and
Mhm.
had a declaration. And then they are installing a commemorative plaque in the park where the event has always, well, the last 6, 8 years has been
Mhm.
held. It has been in different locations, but we got to see a replica of the plaque. It hasn't been installed yet. And there is a virtual cache
Mhm.
there on site, and it published that morning. So we were able to, I haven't actually finished logging it. I'm at a loss for words. But we did what we needed to do to log it. And I'll get around to that
Yeah,
probably this weekend.
I need you to log that because we're using your picture.
Oh,
And I've already logged it, so I might have already been deleted.
deleted. Oh no. So yeah, absolutely. They do so much.
And I wonder when the last time Brian Roth published a cache would be to have him publish that event. That virtual. What a tribute.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that he was the publisher.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he was super active all weekend. We kept running into him right and left, day and night.
No, we were at the same hotel.
Yeah, that too. We were. Yeah, so we were running into him in the hotel and around town. And yeah, the whole town just embraces it. And I hope that other communities um, have as much buy-in, or even 10% of the buy-in that Rome does for geocaching, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything you'd like to say?
No, just is funny. Poor Brian. The night of our flash mob, which is a parade down the street in our costumes, that was the night that the mayor announced it was geocaching week and or going caching week
Mhm.
and they asked Brian to give a speech as well, and he's in his goofy 1970s cop disguise,
Yeah.
trying to be all serious. That's hilarious. He did a great job.
Mhm.
Yeah,
did.
that was fun.
Yeah, it sure was. And we had fantastic weather this time too, so that was really nice. It got a little warm and muggy during the day,
Mhm.
but it wasn't hot like it was one year, and last year
It
was
was
cold,
cold,
so
so
this
yeah.
was much more comfortable.
I think we have Ken next, but before we go to Ken, I'm going to share something.
Oh, there's Ken.
There's Ken in his costume and going caching. Very dapper, very well done,
Absolutely.
very hot.
Yeah, it got warm in that room. Yeah. So there
Okay.
might be random sightings of some of you here that we will be popping up through the evening.
Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah.
And just think, if a northerner can sit there and dress up in that weather, there is no excuse for anybody not to. But though I am not quite as warm as it looks, I did not. The only thing wool I was wearing was the hat and my socks, so it wasn't as hot as it could have been. But no, obviously that was the highlight of my caching. Although I did actually go out and do a big kayaking event as well, just prior to this that weekend, which was my first time doing like over 100 caches in a day and since the start of the year. So that was a fun change of pace to be out on the water. Though I've learned that this is a muscle that you don't use in office work. Um, After like 15 miles of that, it gets really sore after having not done that for, I think, 3 years since I've been on the water. So, but that was my first weekend of fun. The bigger weekend of fun, obviously, being down in Rome. And I had stayed at La Quinta for a long time when I was down there. I migrated to the Hampton. The La Quinta used to have a big active group, but had kind of fizzled out. And when I went to the Hampton this year on Wednesday night, there was just such a group of collaboration. Because for those of you who had never made it, everything they hand you, there's a purpose.
Mhm.
That purpose might be to throw you off, but there is a purpose on everything there. So we had probably 50 to 60 people down in the lobby of the Hampton until around 11 o'clock or so at night, sitting there working through the puzzles, working through the brochure. Do you think this is a clue? Do you think that? No, that's a red herring. No, maybe this. And it was just really neat seeing the camaraderie and getting to meet some people. I met up with a cacher I normally only see at Woodstock. They came down for it. We met them on a logging road to GC12. At the time, they were from Massachusetts, now South Carolina. But just meeting a lot of people, getting a real chance to talk and work with people, and not just passing, here's your bingo sheet. Please sign what you can. A lot of really good work with it, and I got my trading card set done early. I think I was done by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so. It was very nice being done early on the trading cards. But I really am gonna miss that event. It definitely, I don't know of another event that really even is playing in a at a quarter that level in that genre and anywhere. So we're gonna miss that. After our kickoff event, though, I did have two things I wanted to do before leaving town. One was the last thing we did before leaving town was getting a picture up at the clock tower. Um, before we left town. And the other thing is for those that stay at La Quinta or seen pictures, there is a giant mill wheel that is located on Berry College's campus. It's a 42-foot uh, mill wheel. And if you stay at La Quinta, it's the huge backdrop behind the desk. And having seen it for so many times, I sat there and went to the campus, and it's like, how do you get to see this? And if you drive down this road, and it's like a 3 mile, 40 mile an hour drive back down, but getting to see that as well. Just so it's kind of taking an hour or two to say goodbye, because I don't know when I'll swing back through there. I mean, I do have some 2000 caches just above it. and I have 2 empty counties just below it, so I think I can make it work to come back through there. But it's just kind of a weird feeling of not knowing when you'll be back or
Mhm.
if. So, but definitely the highlight of the time.
Awesome. Well,
Mhm.
some really good ideas. Yeah, we didn't do any last minute looking around, our last chance, but we've been invited back personally.
Mhm.
So without a big event to go to, but with friends to see. So I think we'll be back.
Well, sometime, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
So we've got
Yeah.
Annette and then Bob.
Bob.
Well, hello, everyone. As you can see, we have migrated to Nevada. We spent Monday and Tuesday driving on the road. And I know that the dog and the cat are so grateful to be out of that car. But they made it, and Tucker is still kind of adjusting his legs, and they don't bounce back as quick as they used to now that he's almost 15 years old and a big dog. But Romeo has settled in quite nicely, and so we're happy for that. And the crazy thing is that we did very little, well, practically no geocaching on the trip down with the animals because we had the animals. And because we've done that, this is now our 4th trip. So we've got almost everything that's along that fast route, the fastest route down here. And as we were nearing Alamo, Nevada, Dick mentioned, well, there's a new cache that's just north of Alamo. And he said, I got out and looked for it the other day on his drive back up with the Cherokee instead of the Wrangler. And he said, I just couldn't find it. So I left and drove on up. And so we stopped, pulled over, and I had read the description and the hint. And first look, I didn't see it, but then all of a sudden I spotted it. So I got the super smiley on that because I was the one that found it, but he also got a smiley. And that gives us our smiley for October. So that's a good thing. And happy to be here. It's still a little warm here, but it's better than the state of Washington. So I'm happy for that. And we've just been busy since we got here because the ice maker in his refrigerator all of a sudden started leaking. So he had to become Mr. Fix It, and we pulled the refrigerator out and he replaced the line and all of that and got that all fixed. And then we had 1 or 2 other little things. And of course, we've been plugging everything back in and making sure everything works. And for the most part, yes, it does. So we are happily ensconced in Nevada now for the fall and the winter, and happy to get that October 1st to find behind us early in the month.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, good. Yeah, I followed some of your travels on Facebook. So looks like you guys had an easy trip down, more or less.
More or less, yes. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks, Annette. I think we have Bob
Bob
next.
So hold on. So here's Bob going caching.
The cat
He's
burglar.
part of the cat burglar crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I see he still has the stolen cat. So go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, as some of you noticed from our cards, Molly was attending as Sherlock Holmes, and Nancy bought a Sherlock Holmes outfit for animals, and I don't know if it's specifically for cats, but amazingly somehow we got her in it and a photo, and so that was her going caching card, her first and only going caching card. And so We ran out of that card like on the second day, like Thursday. Um, we had, I don't know how many Nancy ordered of each, but so I was busy the next 3 days trading other people to get Molly's card.
Get it
because
back.
pe- because I had friends that were like, "Oh, I didn't get Molly's card." I was like, "All right, well, let me see if I can find one for you." And so I made multiple trades. I still have two now, in my bag here. I still have two Molly cards, in addition to our sets. Um, wow, the sets! I was really frustrated because last year I think we were done on Friday with our sets. Um, Nancy went back Friday night and bought another $100 and something worth of cards. I think 600 and something cards she bought. And it still didn't finish our set. She has two more that she needs, and I have seven more to finish my set. And it just was amazing how many shortages there were of certain numbers. Um, so anyway, notes from the field. So I had my Wild and Wonderful 21 event the Sunday before we left. It was raining, not a heavy rain, but it was still raining. That's our promotional event for Geo Woodstock 2021, which is Memorial Day weekend. I need to get my plug in. If you log your will attend, that would be great. And let me know, and I'll make sure you get a wooden nickel from me. That's good for a prize at going Woodstock 2021 in Morgantown, West Virginia. GCANXX1 for those who have yet to log their will attends. Tell them I said hi. HT Bob sent you or whatever. It's a fun event. And for those of you that never log will attends, please change that style and log a will attend. So anyway, so we had that. We had about 20-ish. We had 6 new caches, of which 2 were built by, I saw him on here earlier. Did he disappear? Oh, there he is. Sorry, Leonard, I still need to send you the GC codes of the 2 new caches that were part of the gadget caches that I put out for the event. One was, they were both birdhouses, and both had things you did with the perch, the birdhouse perch. Anyway, he'll probably know what they are just from that. Anyway, then we traveled down, and like several this year, we've been down there so many times. We've widened our county path each trip, so many trips back and forth, plus the many trips I had before I ever went to a going caching, going back and forth to Florida. So we took a quick trip down and a quick trip back this trip. And we got caches of opportunity along the way, I guess you could call it. We were amazed that on Thursday we got a first to find by accident. We were doing the letterbox caches for the where you had to stamp the sheet, and we were with Buckeye 111 from Ohio, Carson, and C. Michelle. We were with him, and I forget who else we were with. We pulled through a parking lot, grabbed a cache, and Carson said, "Look, the log is empty." What? Do we have a first to find? And that was pretty amazing that we got a first to find totally by accident. And so that was pretty cool. Let me see, on our way back. Oh, tomorrow we have our regular breakfast event, and then we have our fall CETO immediately afterwards. We help one of the Masonic lodges with their 2-mile stretch of highway that they clean up, and so we partner with them, and we have fun doing the CETO with them, and we got a new cache placed for that. Hopefully Keystone gets it published in time, but if not, it's already hidden, so it's there. Hi, Molly. Did you want to say hi to the crew? Hey, Molly's here. Burlock Holmes.
Fuck.
So that's pretty much our week.
Right.
So
Other than that, you didn't do anything, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were cat burglars and Molly was Sherlock Holmes. So
Yeah.
so
That's
we had fun. Yep.
It was great to hang out with you guys in
Yeah,
person again.
Absolutely. Hey, and you guys did go to lunch with us at the
Mhm.
your location where I think you said you first
Jefferson.
had your first meal there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, back in 15.
2014.
Was it 14 was my
Yeah.
first year?
Yeah.
10
And
years
that was
ago.
it was good food. We had a good time. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I think that's where we and Melissa in chat sort of mentioned it, but we came up with our phrase of somebody that, might, not be all there, and they're like several going caching cards shy of a full set, right?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm always shy.
Yep, yep.
I was thinking that about myself when folks were putting that into the chat. I'm like, yeah, I'm a few cards short for sure. All
Excellent.
right. Good. Well, I think that was it for notes from the field then. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, gang. Well, again, tonight's topic is apps and tech and gadgets that we use for geocaching. You were using one that was pretty slick, speaking of cache cards.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to share about that, and then if folks want to share about whatever their favorite tech is that they've been using for geocaching, I'd love to know. So we can always learn new things.
Yeah, so as we've been talking about this deck of going caching cache cards, each and every last one of them is trackable. And so I decided we don't go after the full set. We collect our friends' cards, and then we'll end up with a stack, that thick of cards. And I decided this would be the first time I'm gonna actually discover the cards I have, and that will up my discover total, move trackable totals for different challenges.
Yeah.
And so I was using GeoGo, has a TB scanner and a TB logger. And for me, it has always been not intuitive how to use it. And I thought, what a perfect way to get many reps in and figure out how this thing works. And it certainly helped once I did enough to understand what was going on, and then the workflow to do it. It's pretty slick. You just it scans the code and puts it in a list, and when you feel you have enough, you log them all with a common log entry. In this case, discovered part of the 2024 going caching event, and yeah, it's real nice. So now I know when I'm out geocaching and run across trackables in the geocache, I can scan it. I know what to do with it now, how to store it. And then at the end of the month or whatever, or at the end of an event where I, hit the trackable discover station, it'd be nice to know what how it works.
The steps
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And be done with it. So happy with that. And that was my tech. And the whole time I used the GeoGo for all my logging of finds
And finding of finds.
Yeah, finding of finds for the event.
Now, GeoGo is for Android phones.
GeoGo's Android phone. Cachly is the I'm going to say equivalent. They're different for the Apple product. They both are feature rich, and people really like them that use them. Once one of the problems is with these types of apps is there are lots of features, and so it can become daunting to learn it.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, a bunch of hands flew up. So I think Scott was first. And then we'll go Vince, Nancy, and then Mike. Go ahead, Scott.
So my mine is very low tech, but really, really useful. This is a cable puller um, that I've started using a few months ago, and I love it. These little parts screw all together. You can get this up to about 8 feet, maybe even longer. But it's a cable puller designed to be flexible, so it's of no use going up, but it's great use going down.
Right.
And I use something else. I use these things called U-Glow, and they're sticky. And what I've done with mine is I've gone ahead and put a couple washers on the end here, give a little platform. I can put the little sticky on there, and I've used this for, well, getting water caches that when I don't have water. A number of people have dropped my geocaches down the poles, and I've used these to recover, and I've used them in a number of other different ways. The one that I got came from Amazon, and it had a couple little extensions on it. It has a little hook, it has a little magnet that screw on here, and so I have used the magnet once and I used the hook once, and yeah, and just very useful. I forget what it costs, but probably total less than $16 for these two. And like I said, I've used them a number of times in a number of different ways. So cable puller, little little washers, little sticky, and highly recommended.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So we've got a question from Antoine. Wants to know what we would all recommend for a comprehensive geocaching Where I Go Adventure Lab app for Android.
And so what's interesting about that question is the Adventure Lab. We don't know of any third-party Adventure Lab app.
No, I think you have to use the official one from Groundspeak, HQ. As far as I know, they have not opened up the app for other developers.
So my answer for you, Antoine, is a GeoGo. And what it does is, in relation to ALs, is it will present them on your map. And when you click on them, it will give you, I think, the description, the front page.
And it shows the stops too.
And the stops. But then if you want to go to the stops, you click on that or tap on it, I guess, at your phone, and it opens the Adventure Lab app from there.
So yeah, that's true. There are definitely some steps you can do just using GeoGo to at least get started or know what's around
there,
you for Adventure Labs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Was it Vince?
Nancy.
Oh, it's Nancy.
So this is what's in order now.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's backwards this way.
That's what's confusing me.
So
Zoom changed the layout of everything. Okay,
so Nancy's up.
Nancy.
There's Nancy, the other cat burglar of the pair.
There we go.
Okay.
I look pretty decent in that picture.
So
I don't always photograph very well, so I use Cachly. I love Cachly, and it does show Adventure Lab on it also, but it does then take you to the Adventure Lab app. So, but for iPhone users, Cachly is one of the best, if not the best. I certainly like it better than the geocaching app, and I really hate the Adventure Lab app. I get so frustrated in that app, and poor Bob has to put up with me when I get that frustrated with it. He keeps me on track. But my newest thing is the strap that Lisa sent out in the cache crate that attaches to the back of the phone, and it's a wrist, so then you can hang on to the phone with your wrist instead of your hands. And boy, I have just fell in love with that thing. So that's why I raised my hand, was for tools of the trade. The other tool of the trade that we have is Molly, and she has just been honing in climbing trees very, very well. Now we still have to figure out how for her to retrieve the cache and bring it down to us and then take it back. But you know, it's a work in progress.
Well, you know, any cat could do that. Let us know when you train her how to open it up and sign the log and put it back.
Right.
Right. Maybe lick it. Maybe we should put ink on her tongue and have her lick it, or nose print. I don't know, something.
Paw print. Yeah. Make it a letterbox with a paw print.
Yeah, that. Okay. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for mentioning the strap. I've got one on my phone as well. Yeah, these went in the cache crate earlier this spring or early summer. And I was really impressed when we got them in. I'm like, yes, we have to have these in the cache crate. They just fit inside your phone case and come out. I don't know if you guys can see that. The little strap part comes out. There's a space for it. And it's a little bit stretchy material. It's kind of sticky material as well. And it has a slide on it so you can make it tighter or looser. And for me, it's just the right height or the size. So I can then use it and use my phone and drop it. If I drop my phone, I don't hurt my phone. So thanks for mentioning that, Nancy. And you drive safe. All right. We have Vince next.
Yeah, I've been starting to use GeoGo quite a bit. I was a user of CGeo for the longest time, but then I had a caching friend around here in my local area introduced me to GeoGo, mainly because one of the features that I really like about it is that you can put the county lines and stuff on it. So if you're trying to search for geocache, just like if you're trying to set up a county run, you can use it for that. And plus, I like the fact though to it also has its built-in Wario player in it too.
Yeah.
And also and one of the other I don't know, it meant a big thing to me is like you can, in the bottom of your log, it will show what county each geocache is in, so like you can paste that in your signature. And then I'm always a big thing, like I like posting like what the weather conditions were at the time when I found the hide, and so forth. And like a lot of apps, it did have a bit of a learning curve, but the more I used it, the more savvy I got with it. And then also the guy that kind of writes the software for it, I'm part of the Facebook book, and he's also really good about, like, if you got questions or issues, you just post something on the page, and he usually personally gets back to you and says, yeah, hey, we're working on it, and so forth.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like I like that as well, with that kind of support that Ron provides for the product. Bob mentioned GC Droid, and that's what I used prior to GeoGo, and it is feature filled as well. And I'm not sure how the support is on that anymore, but when I was using it, it seemed fine on that. And then Leonard and a couple other people in chat have mentioned to log trackables is the Log 'em All app. And I think that's specific, built just for that, I think.
For logging?
Yeah.
And it's an app.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one I have not used.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to know if folks have favorite apps as well that they use for different types of puzzles or websites and such too. What have you, projecting waypoints even.
Yeah. And then I would like, if anybody is a up to date on GSAC. How is that working for people? I used to use it a lot a while ago, and then haven't been using it as much. So much so that it needed an update to work, and that update came out over a year ago before I realized I needed it
Oh no.
to make it work.
So it had been a while.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got a few more hands. We've got Mike and then Antoine.
Okay, yeah. Another vote on GeoGo. I've been using it for a couple of years now, and in fact, I heard about it from somebody on one of these calls. And now I lost connection momentarily, so I don't know if anybody mentioned this one detail that people might want to be aware of, in that GeoGo is only useful for premium members.
Oh,
So
you mentioned that.
yeah, but yeah, so that's one thing you want to keep in mind. If you're not a premium member, it doesn't do you any good to get it because the site will not let you in. So,
Good.
but, yeah, but yeah, I use several of the same features. One of the things I've been into lately is logging trackable things at the events I go to, and as JD pointed out, you can build up this big log of stuff. And a nice trick it does is that I sometimes lose track of what I've already scanned. So if I scan something and the add to batch link isn't there, I've already scanned it and it's still waiting to be sent. So that's that makes it relatively easy, and yeah, there are probably features I haven't found yet.
And then I learned that it wouldn't, or it busted me on. I grabbed our going caching card to put it in my name, and then I really wasn't looking. I was just scanning numbers, and I scanned that card, and boy, did GeoGo yell at me, "You cannot log your own trackable." Sorry.
Oh well. But and then as for logging, one I would do this with any app I had these days, but with all the phones having text to speech or speech to text capability anymore, I dictate my log to the phone and then just go back and correct spelling errors, and it's a lot faster than typing.
Yeah, thank you for reminding us of that one. That's one of my favorite tricks too. While you're walking back to the car or on to the next cache, yeah, you can dictate your whole story instead of, trying to thumb type and tripping over a cliff. So yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike. I think it's Antoine next.
Hello, hello. I am not geocaching much. I'm 2 weeks into some pretty major knee surgery. Yeah. And SMUD-T has opened his arms to allow me to start paddle caching, geocaching for the rest of my life. So anyway, got 10 months recovery time, PT. I have some questions, and I also want to show you guys without showing you my credit card number. Oh, actually. So this is, oh, I forget it. You know what? It's GC Droid. GC Droid's support is, Skyhawker was the one who introduced me to it over the summertime during a little powwow with me, Annette, and him in our parking lot. And I downloaded it, and then I connected a new credit card to it. And then it gave me a QR code, or an ORCCR error number 53, which basically means, hey, we're going to flag this. You have to contact us directly, and then we'll just release it. So I paid for this thing like in August. And every time I call or try to contact them, nothing. It's like they disappeared. So if anybody knows of an individual who I can reach out directly to, maybe through like the geocaching portal, imagine these people geocache, that would really be nice.
That's for GC Droid? or
That's for GC Droid, correct. That's
Oh.
right. I have a question for Mike. You said GeoGo useful for premium memberships. Is it worth it? Like a GC Droid?
I don't know about GC Droid, but it's not something I'm familiar with. But for me, yeah, GeoGo was well worth it. And every 6 months or a year or so, I can't remember how often, I have to pay what amounts to about $1 a month for the travel bug scanner to work. But when
Oh.
you scan the amount of stuff that I do at events, that's very well spent money.
Does PathTag have like an app as well? Do you guys know? I mean, I'm just wondering. I really don't know.
I do not know of a path tag one.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something
Thank
to
you.
research now.
Thank you for holding this. And hello, Annette. Hello, Scott. Hello, Jim. Hello, Jim.
Yeah, I believe the cost for GeoGo is just $5, and that's a one-time fee.
And one time fee, and then it's every
Well,
$6
$5
months is 99 cents.
okay,
Hi, Lori.
for the map.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
for something.
Not for the map, for the travel bug scanner.
I think it's because when we were talking with Ron in Arizona and we're saying, you should really charge more for this, and then he listened to us.
Scott?
Yeah, I had just posted this. GeoGo, the enhanced parts of it are $1.99 every 3 months. There is a semi-annual and yearly plans available. So it's not $1 every 3 months like it used to be.
Okay. So he's got options. Cool, depending on how you need to use it. So that's
Yes.
handy. Mhm.
Yeah, I hadn't been notified of any of those other optional things, and I've just been getting that one charge. So maybe it's a grandfathered thing because I got in early. I don't know.
Could be.
Or
Do we have some notes on?
Yeah. So we have David Simmons in YouTube is all about Cashly. Lori was on there for a minute. Now she's in here, and we're in Seaside or are in Seaside. He's going to tell us all about it. And then so Kevin, Cool Cow to Fields, sort of answers my question. He says, if GSAC can't do it, you don't need it done. Still the best tool out there for database and cache management.
Okay.
Good to know. So yeah, I guess I was sort of afraid of just sort of decaying, right? But it seems like it is still being supported, and it was so robust to begin with that a lot of things are not going sideways on it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we've got a few more hands. We've got Gas Station Tuna,
Hey.
Duffy, and then Lori next. So hey.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I just want to chime in on the the travel bug scanning apps. The one I've been using for a long time is TB Scan, which is available for Apple, and I know it's on the Google Store. And there's a free level, and you can scan. It's a use your camera to scan the codes. So which is great because I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to have to go in and do it later and all that other stuff. So it's terrific. But there's also a pay wall where I think it was like $3, $2.99 or $3.99, and it's a forever thing. You never pay them again. And I think you can scan up to 50 trackables at a time. So you scan them, and all of a sudden it goes into a list, and you put in one log. Hey, I saw this at whatever, Geo Woodstock or at Spring Fling, and thanks for sharing. And bloom, it does everything at one time. It's just, and it's available. Like I said, I know it's on Apple because that's what I do, but I also know it's on Google Store, Google Play. So I'm assuming that's all the Android stuff, which I'm not familiar with. But it's really great. I've been using it for years, and it's completely reliable. And if you don't send it now, next time you open it up, even 2 months from now, it caches everything. So it's all there. Other than that, I use Cachly all the time for everything. And in addition to just being like $5 or $6 to buy, they also have like offline maps, and it's a one-time fee for the maps, and it's every map. It's not like you have to buy, okay, I only want Pennsylvania, I only want California, I only want West Virginia. There's a you pay one fee and you get them all, which is a really incredibly helpful thing, especially if you're doing counties, because you can break down by counties, or if you're doing Delorme and all that other stuff. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Good information. Thank you,
And
Duffy.
hi, Scott.
All right, we've got Lori next, and then Jim Starcasher.
Hey, so Team Gas is back traveling again. Gopher and Alondra and we are running down here to Oregon to get the Alarmy pages
Okay.
along the Oregon coastline and a little inland. Depends upon how our days go. But no, I switched from CGO to GeoGo, and I enjoy it because I can see the county maps and different things. It was a humongous learning curve, and I sat many nights at home playing and looking, and before I even went out to go do it and use it out in the wild. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's just the nature of that beast with all the features on it, right? And I imagine it's the same for Cachly users. They just don't wake up and start using Cachly correctly, out of the gate. So
learning curve.
It's that learning curve is well worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. A nice shirt, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, a phone call. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, thanks. Safe travels. All right, we've got Jim Starcasher next.
Well, I can also whatever I know, praise the GSAC world because I am a avid GSAC user, but that's not what I'm going to specify here. But one of the websites that I use for planning geocaching trips is the Cache Tourno or Cache Tourno, the CACH. CAC. Oh, it's hard to say. CACHETUR.NO, and that is a great planning site. That you specify the caches that you want to go to, and it will do estimates about how long it's going to take you to do it, how long it's going to take you to travel between them. You can specify. You can change between driving and walking, and so if you get to a park and you have to go through some trails, you can specify that you're going to start walking at this point in time. I love it. Unfortunately, for some reason, 3 months ago, something happened with my the web browser or something. I'm no longer able to use the cache assistant. Really makes it really great, useful. So I've been trying to work through that, but that's minor. But I still love the actual website, and I can still use it, but it's not as friendly as it is when I had the Camper Monkey and Cache Assistant to help you add stuff to the website to allow you to do that. I don't know what happened, but I'll work it out eventually. I haven't been doing too many big caching trips, so it hasn't been a big deal. So like I said, I'll work it out. But I love the Cache Tourno website.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been too long since I've been back using that one, and I know it has so many great features.
It also has a learning curve to it.
It does, yeah.
Yes, it does. But having that cache assistant really helps, which is the part that for some reason I'm not able to use, which makes it a little harder to use right now. But like I said, I'll work out the details. Something probably happened on my laptop or something. I don't know what. But I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay. Huh. Well, let us know when you do. Ken, I think you've got your hand up.
I really need to move that stack of movies that's sitting in front of that corner of the TV. I can't see the mute button. So I am an old school cacher. I normally am a GPS user on the field. Though I did actually cache with my phone down in Rome this year because I didn't do a lot of planning. I am probably a minority. I only use the GC official app for my day-to-day caching on that. Part of that is as a reviewer, I know people are going to ask me questions and I figure I should know how to answer them. So that's part of my reasoning. I have GeoGo, and I use that I've started using that for the Where I Go player on it. I still actually have Where You Go that still works, unlike most people's. So it still works on my phone, whereas a lot of people trying to download it no longer works. So I do bounce between those. Also an avid user of Cache Tour. All of my trip planning is done on that. 46 days over in Europe, whatever, road trips, whatever it might be. One of the cool features to me with it is going through Virtual's Earth caches that have a wall of text. I can now look at and say, here are my answers, here are the questions, and put them in a comment so that when I pull them up either on the printouts or on the Cache Tour Assistant app, it lets me quickly see what it is I'm looking for. I don't have to, because I've already read it, I generally have it in my mind, but I don't have to sit there and go, okay, I need to read through 10 paragraphs and somewhere in the middle of that description it says take a picture next to the statue or whatever. I can sit there and just point that out real quick, highlight. So it's like, okay, I'll look at it, read it, whatever, take the picture, not spend time looking at phone trying to figure out what it is I need to do. The app, a lot of people don't find useful because it doesn't have the ability to look for a cache, so to speak, but it does give you your time tracking so that if long as you've calculated your route, you can say, I've departed this cache. And it's like, you're running 15 minutes behind, or hey, you're an hour early. I can stop and have lunch. Whatever the thing may be there. So I really do enjoy that portion of Cache Tour, letting me kind of have that flexibility. And the other thing is I add museums. Like if I see something, a tourist attraction, I can add that into the trip, give it and say, I'm going to spend 2 hours in this museum. So it allows me to actually vacation plan. I have actually used it for vacations without caching. It's a shocking thing that happens still once in a great while, but usually I do find a cache in the hotel or something, but but it's a nice app on that. I don't use, but like I said, normally I stick to my GPSs. I misplaced my Garmin Drive / newbie when I was at Going Caching, and I absolutely hate Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I hate the directions that those things give you because I love the roboticness of the Garmin's, where it's like in a quarter mile, turn right at this, because the voice is enough that it grabs your attention and it has enough slowness to let you actually focus on what it's telling you versus trying to be natural speech. Or what I hate with my Google directions, it'll be, turn right on, turn right, and I'm going, there's 3 roads between me and where it's telling me to turn right. Whereas my Garmin's much better about take the 3rd right onto this road name. That's kind of my very limited and antiquated text. If I could find something that would log my caches for me, that would be appreciated. I'm still in Utah, but it's that human touch I try to give it. So thank you.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I remember from training that I had years ago on Cache Tour that you can add in other points of interest, your hotel, all sorts of other things to add into your trip. So that's great. Yeah.
So the question for Duppy, that was TB scan is what you use, right? Okay,
Yep, shaking his head, yes. Awesome.
cool. And then one of the other features about GeoGo that I'm sure Cachly does as well, especially for the mystery caches that you're solving for coordinates, A, B, C, and then D, E, F. It will track your answers for you in those spots, and then uh, it then when you go to the checker, it's all there in order, and it's good to go.
Yeah, that was super
Yeah.
helpful when you showed me that for multi-caches
Mhm.
or field puzzles, that sort of thing. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid drinks are full price now,
Well, I
guys.
got to share one other thing.
Oh,
So
okay. One more to share?
yeah, so you know how rent-a-cars are. You
Oh.
just you get what you get, right?
Yeah, like a box of chocolates.
And so we ended up getting a Nissan Kicks. So we had to do this. Yeah, can't resist.
Yeah. Pretty funny. I'd never even heard of the Kicks.
No.
But we got our Kicks in Rome. It's pretty hilarious. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I think I'll just throw it in the because I don't think any discussion about tools could go without talking about Geocaching Toolbox, which
Right.
is an online
Mhm.
source of a lot of information. And I've been trying to think of the other source where they just have a list of all the YouTube channels, all the blogs, all the just all the resources, and I cannot think of the website. So if anybody can
GC
help me
Coder.
out. What is it?
GCcoder.fr.
Okay, that's not the one I was thinking of, but
If you go to our website, you'll be able to find it, and let's go caching.
okay.
Oh, Scott, what about the Cache Sleuth?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the one you described, but it has similar tools to the geocaching toolbox.
Yep. There's a number of them out there. But yeah, but it's definitely useful. All right. Well, that was it.
Awesome, thanks. Cool. Yeah, there are so many other good ones out there. So yeah, I'll have to put a post out again. Yeah, folks can add to it. Hilo says hello.
He says there's never not a good day to have pet check twice.
And here next to me, guys. So yeah, pet check here. I'm seeing a Bella and a Zoe. Yeah. Awesome. Hilo says hello. I guess he's just gonna lay down. So like I mentioned earlier, when we were just kicking off, that I had an announcement. We are doing a really cool giveaway. It's a full year of any subscription that you are a member of. So we are open. Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing, huh, Hilo? So the cache crates are open right now for new members, and this applies to all new members and also existing members. So if you are a member of any of our Cache Crate subscriptions, you're automatically entered to win either existing. Yeah, he's pretty excited about this. Or new members. Here we go. So I gotta type something.
Hey, Bubs.
Let me add it in here. It's www. cachecrate.com is where you need to go. Looks like it didn't give it a full link. So hang on.
Everything's spelled correctly.
Yeah, probably is just missing the HTTP stuff. There we go. Let's try that one. There we go. Yeah. So this is going to be open through midnight on the 14th. That is our cutoff, and that's when this time period ends. So that's Tuesday at midnight. So it'll be all throughout the weekend. So if you're interested in joining any of our memberships, they start at just $7 a month. And then they go on up from there. We've got the Cash Crate, the Cashkins Club, which is $7, the Cash Track Club, which is just $12 a month, and those two include shipping. So it's one trackable a month, could be a coin or the Cashkins. And then we've got the Cash Crate, which is $27 a month. And then the Hero Crate as well, which is quarterly, and that one is $150 a quarter. So like I said, everything through the 14th midnight. If you join up or are already a member, you are eligible to win an entire free year of your subscription. So yeah, think about joining, and we do ship internationally, Derek. Although, except for the two trackable only ones, they are just US based only. That's just how we have to ship those in the United States. But the Hero Crate and the Cash Crate, definitely we ship worldwide on those as well. So awesome. So let me know if you've got any other questions. I see we've got Cash Sleuth link put up there as well. So thank you guys. And what is that link for where the geocheckers are and all of those?
Well, I think that's what Scott was trying to. There's one resource that does all that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for being here. I learned a lot, and looking forward to looking into some of these other tools that are out there. And we just touched on gadgets and the handheld type of tools as well. But there's so much more out there. And if you're a Cash Crate member, they will come to you actually, which is great, as we get tots in there so twice throughout the year, different ones that we do, depending on what's new and exciting in the cash world. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here, part of the Mappy Hour, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. So we're still now every other week. So we'll see you all again in 2 weeks. And be sure to get an Earth Cache this weekend. It is Earth Cache weekend, and you can get your souvenir. And as Scott mentioned, coming up also is the Adventure Lab weekend days. I don't know those dates off the top of my head, but
no, I think it's Ryobi days. It's Adventureland weekends.
Okay, Ryobi days, great. Home Depot. Oh no. All right, guys. Well, stay safe out there. Have a lot of fun, and we'll see y'all next time. Same cache channel. Take care.